I don't have an awful lot of patience. She didn't want to go down, so I managed to maneuver around her. I got down. When I got onto the ground, the bear was maybe 20 feet away.
Getting rough when I stop believing I'm not tough enough to be free. I just go on with you. That's when we know. That's when we go. When it's just us hunting.
Started off in the summertime. We were out shooting, and it was just her and I shooting that night. We were out at a local range, and it was, I don't know why, but it was a fantastic time that night. Like, we were really hitting it off, and she was shooting incredibly well. She was a natural shot. Some people are just born naturally good, and she's one of them.
The girls have been shooting since they were 3 and 4, so it was just a natural thing that she would go hunting.
So I asked her if she wanted to come bear hunting with us, because it's been the 3 of us prior to that. And without any hesitation yet, she wanted to come.
She's been deer hunting, but not as a hunter. So this is the first time that she's actually had the opportunity to experience what's all about the hunt.
The 2 girls are 180 degrees apart. Erica is way too much like her dad. And Kelly, well, I think Hollywood's a pretty good name for her.
I'm like the outdoors girl, and she's like the Hollywood girl. And now she's like coming in on my territory. This is like my thing.
I had only decided to start hunting that summer. And she had been relentlessly hunting white-tailed deer for many, many years before that, and just not having much luck.
I took a shot at a deer and I flung the arrow like right over it, and I always get busted because I move too quick.
It's 4 days till the bear hunt starts. We're going out to the secret location to go practicing shooting from the tree stand.
We all practice at our range that we have here in the county. So we have 3D targets that we shoot at, and then we also went to a friend's, and he has a tree stand that we were able to go up, because it's different shooting from a tree stand down as to shooting straight on to a target.
Me and my dad were on a team because it was my first time hunting, and my mom and my sister were on the team.
They are the lucky misses, which is 2 girls, my sister and my mom. And then on the straight shooters, we are going to kick you.
Kelly being with Rick, I knew she was in good hands, and then I had Erica, so that's always a challenge in itself.
The downfall of that, if there is, say, a downfall, was I always hunted with Erica. And Kelly, being who she is, and green at bear hunting as well, I thought it would be best if she came with me. So Erica and I actually had to split up.
Even like when I was little, when we would go to tournaments, I always shot with my dad and she always shot with my mom. We always split off that way. And now she's coming in to my thing. And not only is she doing my thing, but she's taking my partner, and I'm stuck with mom.
There was a contest. Whichever team got the most bear weight won.
I'm a very competitive person, but I hate being competitive when I lose because that sucks.
You feel the competition, and, may the best team win.
It's not about winning, it's about not losing.
And then she stops, and she doesn't go any further. So I'm filming her, and there's nothing happening. It's like, what's happening here? The bear hunt is a fantastic hunt to introduce a bow hunter to it. It's a controlled hunt. You know the bear is going to be right there. Whereas when you go for deer, moose, anything else, there's so many other variables in there. The bear is going to be there.
It's very exciting that they were both with us. It's the first time that we've all hunted together as a family.
finally the 4 of us were going to go out.
I think I was ready. My dad did most of the physical stuff.
She thinks she's going to see all these animals, but it's not like that. You mostly don't see anything.
What a little angel. She's half of the straight shooters. And our pilot, half of the lucky misses. Over the years, you end up seeing good terrain for the bears. You know, you have to have the proper feed close by. You're going to have some water close by. And it's not just a matter of walking through the bush and dropping a barrel. And over the years, we start doing it now without thinking. You know, everything is there. It's almost natural for us to do it. We're on our way out to our baits. We brought up a whole truckload of bait, dumped off what we could at the base camp, and we still have 6 or 7 bags left. So we're going to go and we're going to fill our drums up.
It's been baited for more than a month, and the bears know that there's donuts and sweets there, so they are constantly coming back. But we have to make sure it's there so that they will keep coming back.
A bear trail isn't always the easiest to find. Once you have an established bait, trails are glaringly obvious. The longer you keep a bait, the better it gets because it's established. The bears are actually coming in before you're baiting because they're expecting that to be there. Bears are opportunistic thieves, and they know that that is going to be there.
It's a little unsettling when you're standing on the ground and you know that there's all these bears around, because we've had trail picks that we've seen for a month and there's monster bears on these baits.
Or the first afternoon that we were walking in, I told Kelly, knock your arrow, you're going in there. And it's all raspberry brambles and whatnot at the edge of the bush before you can go on, so you can't see into the bait. And she's walking in and I'm behind her filming her, and I'm thinking she's doing a really good job. Hey, for Hollywood, this is pretty good, it's fitting the bill. And then she stops and she doesn't go any further. So I'm filming her and there's nothing happening. It's like, what's happening here?
So we came in and there were 2 bears here, and scared the crap out of me. I didn't want anything to do with them. I wanted them gone before I got them here. Anyways, after scaring them away for a little bit, got them in a tree stand. They both came back and fought. They can hear them the whole time. I know time is probably at least 2 hours. They finally buggered off, and hopefully something bigger comes in so you can get it.
When we walked in, I don't even know if the bait was hit. So it was kind of like disheartening that way, that they're getting all this action and we're supposed to be on this hot spot.
You're listening all the time to what's going on around you. And you hear anything and you automatically just look because you don't know what it's going to be. And a squirrel, chipmunk, birds make way more noise than a bear does. A bear is very, very silent when they come in. You don't know they're there until they're there.
So when we get up into the tree stand, Mom and I, it's pretty chill, and I'm just texting Kelly, and she's saying that there's bears on their bait, and we have nothing, and we see a squirrel, which is like, that's it. You're done.
I got a text from my sister, and she said that my mom had shot a big bear, and they needed help.
But we had these 2 bears on there, and they would not leave at all. Absolutely would not leave.
Dad tells me to just start climbing down, and I said no. But these are bears. I'm not just climbing down in front of bears.
No way was she going down. It was bad enough she had to come in with 2 bears at the bait. She wasn't climbing down with 2 bears at the bait.
So my dad started yelling at them to run away, and they were just munching on their food and watching us.
I don't have an awful lot of patience. She didn't want to go down, so I managed to maneuver around her. I got down. When I got onto the ground, the bear was maybe 20 feet away.
They ran away at that point, and then he was all set up down there, and I was filming him, and they came back, and he had to threaten them and chase after them with a branch. I
just grabbed a log, gave it a dirty run, and it took off, but not far. It was only maybe 20 yards away, and it didn't want to leave. And as we were leaving, it was coming back in.
So it's day 2 with the Just Us hunting crew, the straight shooters versus the lucky misses. It started off not too eventful for a good 3 hours. Just some squirrel wars inside the drum. That was quite entertaining. And then we had a very nice bear come in. He was really cautious. He knew where we had been on the ground, and he didn't stick around for very long. And not soon after he left, we got another bear, and he was little.
Big Shorty was there the first night I went in, when it was him and his sister that they wouldn't leave, and he kept coming in every night.
Big Shorty's a cool bear. Big Shorty was the one that met and introduced Kelly to short-range bow hunting on our very first day.
He had been on trail cam pics, so we had seen him, and obviously we kind of like pushed him a little to the side because all of his like big brothers and sisters were maybe stealing the light. And then the legend of Big Shorty had come to fruition throughout the week.
When you go bear hunting, one of the things I always tell people is if you have a bear come in the first night, don't do anything. Enjoy the scenery. They put on a heck of a show, and you're there all week. If they're there the first night, chances are they're going to be there the second or the third nights.
So the adventures of Big Shorty continue. He came in again tonight, but unlike the other nights, he was really skittish and on edge. And he kept looking on the trail behind him like something was coming. He kept hiding from the trail behind him like something was coming. So Big Shorty lives to see another day. Until tomorrow, there are no second chances this time. He is going down.
Okay guys, I'm going to give you a little clue here, a little hint. Our stands are getting easier and easier to get into as we get older, and it's because we're actually spacing our steps closer and closer together. Typically I put 16 to 18 steps in. My last step is the same height as my tree stand. So when I step on there, I just have to step off to the left. I'm safely into my tree stand. It's nice and easy. There's no big long stretch or reach. My steps are equally spaced about a foot apart. It's nice and comfortable to step that high when you have a lot of hunting clothes on in the wintertime. Remember, there's people at home that want to see you come home. And that's your Just Us Hunting tip of the week.
So Big Shorty lives to see another day. Until tomorrow, there are no second chances this time. He is going down.
Okay, this is it. This is my time, and Big Shorty's going down.
It's day 4. Didn't have any action this morning. And it's getting late in the week. We're running out of time. So I'm really hoping Big Shorty's there. And we'll take him out, go home, and go to bed early. And beat my sister to the bear.
Well, we came to the conclusion that Big Shorty is my destiny because he's always coming in and he always knows I'm there, so he's just kind of asking for it. So we decide on the 4th night that when Big Shorty comes in, he's going down. Fairly early in the night, I believe we'd been in the stand for 2 hours. He came in and he starts doing his usual. He sniffs out the area and goes right to the bait. So I stood up and Big Shorty offered a shot and I started pulling back.
I don't know if it heard the arrow or if the tree stand creaked or whatever, but it stopped, took a look at her.
And I just froze at this awkward half draw. And then he looked away and I put my arrow back down. But the way my release was is that any kind of tension release, the arrow came off. And so I unclipped it just almost when I was done, when I was back at rest. And the arrow fell off and fell down.
It was actually kind of funny and on my perspective behind the camera, but I'm sure she wasn't too thrilled with it.
Oh no, everything's over. I ruined my relationship with Big Shorty. He knows that I'm here to hurt him and he's gonna go away.
The bear come walking up right underneath our stand. It smelled the arrow and I figured that would be the end of it, but no.
And I guess he didn't think I was that much of a threat because he just went right back to the donut bait and I just said, well, that's it. You had your chance.
And I figured that would be the end of it, but no. Kelly turns around and looks at me and says, that's a stupid bear.
At this point, he's not moving and he's broadside. This is what I've been practicing for all summer. This is what I've been doing since I was 3. This is my time to shoot this bear. So I knock another arrow and I pull it back. And I remember my heart beating so fast and seeing my heartbeat at the tip of my arrow as it was vibrating. And my dad's mantra is going through my head, just pick a spot, just pick a spot. He was probably saying it out loud too, but it was in my head as well. Just pick a spot. So I just pull back and start calming myself and getting rid of this heartbeat on my arrow and breathing. Up until the point where I released the arrow, everything was slow. Everything was so detailed that I was doing.
remember this one time while I was night hunting kangaroos in Australia, which is legal there. We were driving 80 kilometers an hour through this field, searching for kangaroos. There was 2 of us in the back of the truck and this crazy Aussie in the front. And we were driving probably 80 kilometers an hour, and I looked beside me, and the driver of the truck is standing there laughing. And I guess it's the fun thing to do, is jump out of the truck and scare the other hunters in the back and leave no one driving the truck. So I guess we put it on cruise. So that really stands out in my mind as one of the most memorable moments.
Up until the point where I released the arrow, everything was slow. Everything was so detailed that I was doing. Once I released the arrow, it just went into super fast motion. He was gone, and thankfully my dad was there, because if I didn't know, or I was just too excited, that you have to keep tracking the bear to watch where it runs.
There's a number of things you have to do. You have to follow that bear. You have to take a bearing on the last place you've seen him, a bearing on the last place you heard him, and it's going to help the recovery process exponentially when you do this. When I seen that arrow hit, I thought it actually hit a little high, and I was slightly concerned about it, and it didn't run very far.
Just so excited, and was just like holding my heart, just being like, oh my God, I can't believe I just shot my first bear. And you could hear him die. I heard him go down, and it's just so satisfying. The aftershock was just so satisfying, just to know that I've finally done it.
Legend of Big Shorty is done.
I don't see her get excited like that very often, so I knew she was happy. First thing she was on there, she was talking to her sister on the phone.
Lucky misses 1, straight shooters 1. Yeah, he just died like 2 seconds ago. Stay on your stand. Bye. I don't think she's as happy as I am.
I was so rattled that she got one before me, because I've been hunting forever.
I beat my sister to our first shot at anything. Straight shooters.
But I wanted her to learn from this, so I made her get on the blood trail, try to follow it. Everyone thinks you're going to follow a blood trail, and it's like walking down a highway, and it isn't. A bear is particularly hard to blood trail because their hair is so thick, and it soaks up so much blood that it doesn't give you a great trail.
We go in, we find the bear, and he makes me test to see if it's alive. And you have to go and poke it in the eye, but that's where its teeth are, so I don't want to.
I have a bad case of underestimating the size of bears, and I told her it was 100 pounds.
My dad is like, okay, good job. Let's get it out of here.
Here you go, Kelly. Drag it out. No, absolutely not. She pulled it, I don't know, a few feet.
The theory is if it's your weight, you'll have a hard time with it. If it weighs more than that, you won't be able to pull it. Pulling this bear, just trying with all my might, and I was like, wow, this bear is so heavy. I can't pull this bear. So then he takes the belt and just walks off with it, and we load it into the truck. And then we get back to camp and weigh it, and we find out that it's only 5 pounds heavier than me, and I'm just weak. But I've been going to the gym a lot since then, trying to build more muscle.
The legendary Big Shorty is legal.
And the legend is over. If you have videos of your hunt and you'd like to see them right here, go to our website, justushunting.com, and email me directly. Who knows, maybe one day you'll see your hunts right here on Just Us Hunting.
My name is Paul. I've been hunting for 20 years, and my weapon of choice would be a longbow. I like to hunt big game and have successfully taken probably bear, moose. I took a nice caribou, shot a few deer, and in the off season I like to get ready by shooting 3D and practicing with my friends on 3D targets and stuff. The person that probably influenced me the most in my traditional archery would be Al Goslar. I met many years ago and we were shooting a stick bow. We got to talking and I was pretty intrigued with it, so he taught me how to do it, and I guess I've been doing it ever since. And I'm Paul Williams, and this is my profile.
The legendary Big Shorty is legal.
And the legend is over.
I would be lying if I said I wasn't mad. I didn't take it very well, but then eventually you have to like put your pride aside and be happy for the people you're hunting with. Like, it was really awesome, and I'm glad that I was there for when it happened.
Felt bad because she had put so much more time into it than I had. And you could see that she was a little upset. She was a little upset that she had been outdone, but she got over it pretty quickly, and she got really happy for me.
It's a great feeling that to celebrate with her that she's got her first bear, and that Rick and Erica and myself and their aunt and uncle and the fellows from Ohio are all there, and some nephews, so it was great.
She was very lucky. We've seen lots of bears. She had all kinds of action. She's been back since and will continue coming back. And she knows she was lucky that first week with the encounters she had.
I'm glad I got to share that with my sister. I was just choked that she did it before me.
I know for a fact that when this hunt was done, one of her bigger accomplishments that she thought was the fact that she put meat back in our freezer. She contributed. She contributed to the family and to the whole family with it. If you have videos of your hunts and would like to see them right here on this show, go to our website, justushunting.com, and email me directly. Who knows? Maybe one day you'd see your hunts right here on Just Us Hunting.
Well, I feel alone and I can't see why. And the cold winds blowing from the northern sky. I dream of going hunting. When life's road starts getting rough, when I stop believing I'm not tough enough to be free, I just go hunting.